everyone. Mr. Devil here, Kenny Danico, 3-time Stanley Cup champion of the New Jersey Devils. And you're listening to the Uncle Puckers New Jersey Devils podcast. Let's go, Devils!
What's up?
Hey. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing?
Morning. Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
I've been better.
Yeah, so we don't have a bunch of time because it's, I have to go to work at 7:30 in the morning here, 2:30.
Do we even have to cover the game last night?
No, there's no reason to say anything. I mean, though, you could say whatever you want. I just think, the little bit of time that we have, I just think that the three of us, lay it out there. Tell us what you're feeling. Yesterday, I think, was a day that we all woke up, and not just us, not just Bobby too. I'm talking every Devil fan woke up very optimistic, right? Like, okay, we might not have Jack Hughes, but this team's not terrible, and Tom Fitzgerald is going to pull some strings. We're hearing constantly, Devils are talking to this team. They're interested in this guy. They're interested in that guy. Everything's coming out. But this Jack's injury doesn't waver from the plan. They're still moving forward as if this is a contending team. And then we ended up doing absolutely nothing. Well, I understand not a lot of guys that we talked about were not moved. Okay, like we talked about Tuck and McCann and Raquel, and those guys weren't moved, but there were some big names moved. And it kind of seems to me Tom Fitzgerald gets laser focused on one person, and he does whatever he can to try and get that person. And if it doesn't, there's no plan B, there's no backup plan, there is no quick adjustment on the fly. He doesn't know how to fucking do this. And when I watched that press conference of his yesterday, that looked like a man that had a really, really bad day at work. That looked like a dude that was just defeated, man. And so I think I'm kind of at the point now, and I'll rant a little bit more. I just wanted to kind of set it up here. Sometimes people just aren't good at their job. What was it like? The
press conference was like when you walk in on your mom and your dad, and he has to sit there and explain to you what happened or what was going on, and think that you're stupid enough to go out the door and be like, "Oh, they were just wrestling." That's.
That was the most cuckold fucking press conference I've ever seen. He dropped so many all time. I just watched my wife get railed by 8 dudes.
He looked nervous.
Quotes. He looked nervous. He was swaying back and forth. We came in second on one of them. You fucking pussy. Are you kidding me? Look, none of us could have done a better job. None of us know how to do his job. We know how to do our jobs. I had confidence in this guy up until about 3 months ago. This is the second year in a row he has proven an absolute inability to adjust on the fly. He is so big on creating his little family and culture in the off season and doesn't want to ruffle any feathers or hurt any feelings. Like you heard him say yesterday that it's one of the tightest rooms that we've got. Every hockey locker room.
That and $2 will get us a cup of coffee.
Yeah, they all say that. There are 10, 15 guys that were traded or put on waivers over the past 2-3 months that would have been significant upgrades over this bottom 6, but he waits to the last day possible to get 3 fucking scrubs that aren't going to fucking do shit for us. And he left $13 fucking million on the table this year. He left $9 million on the table last year. I'm embarrassed.
Well, you have the very mature outlook. I always sit there and think of some, odd shit, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching yesterday and I'm like, man, I compared it to so many things. I'm like, this is like when the Raiders got Marinovich or Kiss took off their makeup, or U2 made you listen to all the records on iTunes. This was just one of those things. And I don't even know, or Chris, what you made. Remember the Crying Game? When you sit in the theater and watch that and you get the big surprise, just disappointment. It's what the fuck's going on? I think that we talked about it via text yesterday. And also Josh and David, I mean, it's, is it the owners too? I mean, are they causing some of this? I
Yeah.
mean, it's just deflating. Like yesterday, I just felt like it was sad to be a Devils fan. And it really feels like this is the trend now. Last year, it was the same shit with goaltending. This year, it's like, I just couldn't believe it. It was funny because I was seeing all, you see all the Twitter things of like who's going where and who's going that. And eventually, I didn't even have any hope. I kind of
Time
got,
ran out.
yeah, maybe like by noon, I was like, man, it's a couple hours left, and I mean, Florida,
Dallas,
Yeah.
Florida, Colorado, all
Marsh-
loaded up. Toronto even got a heck of a lot better.
Marchand went for a fucking second round pick.
mm-hmm.
We got a number 7 defenseman for a second round pick and a prospect. Like I don't understand that. Like I guess Marchand forced his way to Florida. Look, that's the one thing I will, and the one thing that he can save his ass on is that it was an impossible marketplace.
He can't.
Like, it was a
He
seller's
can't save his ass on
No,
that.
I know.
I'll tell you why.
Well, hang on. Let me finish. Fine. Fuck you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. Are you finished?
No, I wasn't.
No,
but now I am. I
finish.
guess
Go ahead. Finish.
it was an awful marketplace.
Are you finished?
That's what
I'm gonna keep doing it, Tim. I'm sorry. I just see your face.
This is what happens when you do a show at 7:00 in the morning.
I'm teasing. Go ahead. Finish.
I'm gonna break you in half and throw you in the ocean. Rip that little soul patch off your chin.
Put him in the bathroom.
I don't want his face looking at my money. Put him in the fucking bed.
That's what it felt like yesterday during that press conference.
Exactly. But look, he's going to be able to hide behind injuries, and I put that the wrong way. He's going to be able to hide behind this.
Mm-hmm.
I think with his ownership, he's going to be able to hide behind injuries and an absolutely brutal marketplace. But we wouldn't have been in the position we are in if he had done something earlier.
That's what I was going to say.
We are holding on for fucking dear life right now. Like we would have been in a much better position if we picked up Daniel Sprong on waivers 2 fucking months ago.
Yeah.
Now we give him a 7th round pick for him. That is just
really
the
have
dumbest
playoff hope. Like
No.
I mean, I hate to say it because and we've all known. I mean, Chris, we've known each other for many, many years, like since we were teenagers. I'm a huge Devils fan, and I don't have that. I'm actually starting to think now, like, okay, like do we even get in the playoffs? Like,
I don't think we
get
do.
there?
I
think last night was I think.
I mean, yeah, and what that was too last night was a bunch of guys in Timo, Nico, Markey, Bratt, most of the defensive core expecting that some help was coming, right? And all right, we can still do this. We lost Jack, and that's huge. But if we can get ourselves a top scorer, we can get ourselves a guy to come in here. Even if it's just a rental, we can maybe go on a run. And they were just as deflated as I think the entire fan base was. Now, I didn't finish watching that game, but if there wasn't a Fire Fitzy chant, I'm going to be upset with our fans. Was there?
I didn't hear one, but
I
turned it off, honestly. So I turned it off at 3-0, like right before the end of the second. Mike Ruff actually sent me a note. He was like, "Hey, Mercer scored." I went to go turn it back on. 2 minutes, 4-1, 5-1, turned it right back off. I was like,
"Yeah." I mean, this was the more I thought about it yesterday, because I was pissed yesterday. I was literally angry that if Tom Fitzgerald was in front of me, I would have probably punched him in his face. I was so angry, and then I got depressed. I got really sad, and I was like, "Man, this just isn't right." How do you go to these guys and say, "Sorry, we didn't do shit"? And again, the Harrises, the other owner family, whatever. Are you just more concerned about Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders now because your 76ers blow and you're letting your fucking Devils completely shit the bed here because you don't want to spend any extra money over the cap? You had $13 million to play with. I'm sorry, you could have made fucking deals. And Tim, you were 100% right. And that's what I was going to say. He can't hide behind this market bullshit because these are, again, the second year in a row. The mistakes, the issues, the deficiencies were known at Christmas, and you did nothing. Do you think Vegas general manager would have waited until the trade deadline to fix any problems that were on that team? he would have saw right away, oh shit, our bottom 6 blows. These guys are out. These guys are in. And
Colorado overhauled their entire goaltending tandem
Yeah.
like 6 weeks into the season.
Yeah. In a matter of
talked
like
about
3
that
days.
3
In a
months
matter
ago.
of like it's. I get that they took a flyer on like Blackwood, and Wedgwood, but like those are much better options than what they had. They upgraded.
They upgraded.
That's all we asked for is upgrade. I don't give a shit. Like Lazar's a great guy. Please do not be on my fucking team next year. Bastian, I think he may have done
may
something.
not be.
And that's another fucking thing. How do you not know about the things that
Again.
McLeod and Bastian did? Like those are
Again,
that,
here we
that
go.
that should be a fireable fucking offense.
Yesterday was a fireable offense, in my opinion. Tom Fitzgerald should not be the general manager of this hockey team. He is not capable of doing it. He is Mr. Free Agency. But you know what? This is getting old. This is now 2 years in a row that you coming off a 112 point fucking season when you got this team came out of nowhere, right? 2 years ago, blowing teams out, playing fast, awesome hockey, getting good goaltending. And that was kind of shocking to everybody, including management. But then what happened after the year? Tom Fitzgerald got his grubby little fucking mitts all over that team. And for the last 2 years during the summer, he has managed to make the team worse and then not make the right choices during the year to get them steady. He doesn't know how to steady the ship. This guy should not be the general manager. This Devil team will go nowhere with him. And all of that goodwill that you have built up over the last couple of years of guys wanting to come to Jersey and feeling good about coming to Jersey, that's all going to be gone because they're going to know that Jersey are a bunch of fucking frauds. And
you know who I felt bad for last night, Chris, is Nico. And I mentioned this to you, I think, via text too. I was like, man, you're telling me that, like, if I'm Nico, I'm like, you can't give me a few more tools when I'm watching teams that are behind us tooling up, you know? I mean, and I think we could, like we said, we could have done this weeks ago. I mean, this could have been done 2 months ago. And that's when I started noticing, when we started seeing the moves go on, we said that because, and like, we're totally rooting for the Devils. I'm still like, hey, until it's over,
and watch every
we're going to
game.
watch. We love our team, but man, we just know, I mean, it's not even like, you know, if you got a couple guys that just, you would be like, that just made sense. You'd be like, you never know, man, you can make a little run, you know? I don't feel that excitement.
He didn't have the balls to fucking sign Brandon Stott off of fucking waivers, which I really thought would be great for this team.
He did offer him a contract, but Sod picked Vegas.
Oh, all right. I mean, I get that. I would have picked Vegas too, but
probably Jersey's fallen out of the destination area. We were talking about last year how it was an exciting place you wanted to be. You wanted to be in Jersey. You wanted to be on this team. Now, I mean, if you're, you know, some of these older guys, the veterans that you'd like to put on this team for a run, they probably don't know if they want to come here. I mean, you know, you're not going to get the tools you need. Most likely, we saw that. We watched the Devils last year where goaltending would have made a huge difference. We said that from week 3, I believe, actually. Never happened. You know, and
you know, if you look at like the Rantanen thing, right? Like he turned down $13+ million contract in Colorado. Rumor was that it was something similar in Carolina, only to accept 12 in Dallas. I think the tax thing is really starting to kind of rear its ugly head, you know, like the no state income tax thing. Like,
and I don't think Carolina's sending them to Jersey. I don't know. I just
no. They I don't think so either. I think that was all smoke and mirrors. It would have been great to get them, but they I think there was something about Toronto put together a pretty hefty package for him too. Like I actually saw the package that they put together, and they. Carolina said we're not sending him to someone in the East, basically.
Yeah, that's really the only way they could have fucked that deal up anymore is if they had sent him somewhere in the Eastern Conference. And maybe that might also be a saving grace of Tom Fitzgerald, that maybe one team may have done worse over the course of the trade deadline time than Carolina. But you know what? They're still ahead of you, and they're a better team. I mean, and that's it. I mean, what this team looked like last night on the ice was what Tom Fitzgerald looked like in that press conference.
Just beaten down.
Yeah, a beaten down team that's not getting any help, and the people that are supposed to be, you know, in charge of helping us get better, just left us hanging out to dry.
I will say it did make me think a little bit more on the whole Harrison Blitzer thing. Like, is this guy's hands tied? Is there something that like we don't know? I mean, because I really, to be honest with you, I didn't, like I said, by like afternoon yesterday, I didn't think we were going to do anything eventually, but I thought we'd do something. I mean, I know we did something, but I thought we'd at least bring a guy in that we would be like, okay, this could help. I don't see that yesterday. I mean,
you don't think Cody Glass is going to help?
Oh, I mean,
look, if you would have made some other moves that we wanted, that we asked for, and then Cody Glass was our 3C person that we put in, like we didn't even mention Cody Glass. I didn't even know that he was in the, on the trade block. Daniel and then if you would have plugged in Cody Glass, okay, we got Alex Tuck to play with Jack. I'm saying perfect world, right? And then Cody Glass comes in to be our 3C. I don't think anybody would be complaining, but now Cody Glass is our 2C, I guess, right? Because we don't fucking have another center.
Another line from the press conference yesterday that was absolute fucking spin.
I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Now he's like, well, with all the money that we have, now we can expand the rosters and, provide and create competition. I was like,
there's 19 games left.
Didn't he also say that
goddamn retard? Pardon my language. I'm sorry.
We feel confident because this is the team that got us there. Wasn't that got us where we are now? Wasn't that one of his comments?
He's like, we're a good team. We're a good team. It's like, no, you're fucking not.
Until Christmas.
you're just not, man. They're playing uninspired, lazy hockey. Eric Holla hasn't had a point since Thanksgiving. I'm actually adding a prediction to my little round of predictions. I am saying that Brian Dumoulin will get a point before Holla, Tatar, Lazar, and Bastion. And he didn't look all that great last night. Nemec last night. Like,
I don't want to see anybody on our bottom six on this team moving forward. Like Cotter, okay, he might be it. But even like Nason looks lost out there. Like lately, like nobody can do anything, and it seriously is a fucking shame because this team. You look at how we played. At one point, we were one of the better teams in November, December. Like you would watch these games, and holy shit, man, the Devils can lock it down. They can score at will. They're getting contributions from pretty much at least the top six, and we were able to survive. But nothing ever got better with that bottom six. Like Tom Fitzgerald should be fired for the simple fact of going into this year thinking that Holla, Lazar, that these guys were Tatar, that these guys were the answer. I mean,
the problem with Jack.
Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
I'll just say this really fast. Like the thing is that Jack's injury is deflating. Okay, you definitely understand this, but the problem is right there is that when one guy basically decides if you're going to be a contender or not, you have a big problem. Because you always have to expect an injury, right? But when you have one dude, just one guy that the whole team relies on, that's a problem, man. And that's the feeling right now. Right when he got hurt, that was the vibe. Like you just saw, and I kind of felt it too, and that sucks, man. I was like, man, what do we do now? Like you got to have 2 or 3 of those guys that can, well, you add another piece, and then you still have a unit that can. And maybe we did if we would have added. If we would have taken a risk and made a move, maybe we would with Bratt and them, maybe it would have worked. Well, now we don't know.
I agree.
Now the season might be done. I mean, as of last night, I felt, I actually passed out in the second period last night because I knew eventually, it's 5:00 in the morning and this is just going wrong here. But I feel like that game last night might have been the final. Might be at the end. I mean, that's bad. And the non-consistency. I mean,
so basically the way it stands now is 91 points is going to make the playoffs, and they have 72. So they need basically 19 more points, right? And they have 18 more games. They have to go 10-8 basically in their last 18 games. I don't think they can do that.
Which they should be able to, which sucks.
That's just squeaking at 10-8. That's just to squeak in at like the final wild card spot.
Right.
Like, I'm not even talking about staying in third. I think this spot is long gone. I'm fucking actually embarrassed that I said we were going to beat CBJ twice. Like, no, we're not. Like, that was absolutely fucking embarrassing last night. They weren't even trying. Like, were you like, and just back to Nason he got taken off of power play 1. He's looked awful over the past month.
Mhm.
Bratt has scored like 3 goals since December. Again, like I I'm the biggest Jesper Bratt fan, but this motherfucker needs to start scoring some goals. Timo's still needs to score goals. Nico, I need him to step up. I want to see him start fucking yelling at people on the bench. I want to see him fucking start
Being a leader.
like getting mad. Like, get mad. You should be mad at your team for this performance. We don't know what they're saying in the locker rooms, but like I don't see it. Like I don't see I don't see the energy. I don't see that from him. I see exasperation and defeat. And I don't know if maybe that's just his resting fucking pussy face, but like get mad about something, man. Like
Last
and
year,
just
go ahead.
one more last point. To Tony's point, this is like watching a Trump press conference where he flat out fucking lied to our faces. Where he's like, oh, we're not a one-man offense. You are a one-man offense. We have been. The fucking numbers prove that. Like, you can't just sit here and lie to our face. Like, that is 100% bullshit.
It's funny you say that, Tim. I thought this yesterday. I thought to myself, we've seen some bad press conferences in the last couple months, right? But yesterday's may have been the worst. I mean, and we've seen some shit, so it's
like we know what we're watching.
The
We know the truth. Like we are a one-man team. We are a one-man decor offensively. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're lying to us. You're flat out lying.
When's the last fight we've had? December? I think it was.
Well,
December.
no, we had one the other night.
There's one the other night, but like,
but it
But
wasn't that
like
good.
a fight.
but it was,
Yeah.
but it was an undercard flyweight.
Brendan Dillon, I'm talking. I think Devil fans need to come to terms with the simple fact that this core that we thought that was going to take us to Stanley Cups is not the core. Okay, Bratt, Timo, Nico, Jack, forwards, and one of those guys. And I'm leaning more towards like a guy like Bratt. I'm sorry, or even Timo. You have to move. You have to move them, and you have to go and get some fucking people like, we talked about it a million times, a Brady Tkachuk, even at this point, a guy like Tuck, which you're not going to have to give up a lot for. But we need more of there's not enough leadership on this team. I love Nico, but I don't see it. I don't see anybody that gets in these guys' face. Do you think that Scott Stevens will put up with the bullshit that's been happening that we've seen on this bench over the last couple? Like you said, nobody gets mad. Everybody's got a look of fucking depression on their face, defeated, and that all comes from the top. All right, Tom Fitzgerald is not a good GM. Should not.
I
be
miss Lou.
I wasn't a giant fan of Lou at the end either.
I love Lou.
But
the end, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But like Tom Fitzgerald's got to go. Tom Fitzgerald's got. But I mean, look, I think a lot of this too, like you said, is the ownership, and we talked about that. You had $13 million of LTIR money that comes directly out of their pockets. They're not gonna. They didn't want to do it. Apparently, they didn't want to spend any money. So maybe it's not all on Fitz. Maybe it is on them. But I don't want to hear how you can, then you build through the draft, you build through other ways, you build the right team in free agency. The problem is if you make any wrong moves, it's going to set your team back. Well, he's made wrong moves, and this has set the team back. He's drafted poorly. This is all the shit that now is coming home to roost. And I think now we have enough 5 years of Tom Fitzgerald, and you can lay it out, and you can look at his tenure with the Devils, and it's been 5 years. You made the playoffs once, dude. You made the playoffs once. I don't know if that's enough to hold on to your job.
I was thinking about that, because I'm waking up, over here, I wake up at like 3:00 for these games or 2:00 to watch them. And now, I mean, I'm still, you feel like you suffer for this team, but they don't suffer for you. I'm talking about ownership. I'm talking about the ownership and that, because man, it's like the ticket prices aren't going down. I get the email still. I went to the arena 2 years ago and signed a thing for a giveaway. I'm getting called every day by reps, or emails every day, and the prices aren't going down. It's just, man, I mean, you almost feel like, and I've heard a few people say this too, is you almost have to gut the team. You have to really.
You don't have to gut it, but I do think that you either.
If you don't make the playoffs this year, I think you have to move a lot out. You have to.
Well, that's what I think. That's what Chris is saying. I think one of those 4 guys has to go. I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be Timo at this point. Like that, it's just not. It's not working. Yeah,
I mean, can you?
whatever we brought in, whatever power forward stud he was supposed to be, it's just not working.
I mean,
Like
can you call Ottawa?
Timo for Brady, like that.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. Like, can you call Ottawa in the summer and say we'll give you Timo Meyer and Seamus Casey, and
No, they won't take that.
let's get Brady.
I
I mean,
think
I
they
like
would.
Meyer, but no, they won't take that. They won't. There's no way.
I don't know, because now with he's getting blowback from the Canadian fans
Yeah.
now because of all the shit that's going on. They just
And they
traded
just-
his BFF.
Yeah. Did you
and
see his
Josh
press
Norris.
conference about that?
No, I didn't watch it, but I saw how was it?
He was crying
He was crying
during the
the
press conference, and then his Instagram post was even more heart wrenching. He wants out of there. Like that's the thing.
Well, he may want out, but I don't know if you're going to get out.
But that's
getting those
the
guys
other
out.
thing. We may need to hold on to this wild card spot just to force Ottawa out of the playoffs, just so that he'll sell them to us. I don't know if they have that fucking capability. Like we're
they loaded up. They got better.
They got a guy
yeah.
that I wanted. Like Ottawa did.
The whole thing, everything yesterday just made like why not Cousins? Why did you not do whatever the fuck you had to do to get Dylan Cousins in here? And again, you didn't.
You see, and Ottawa picked up Zetterland.
Yeah, another guy
for a fucking nobody.
Devil fans would have been ecstatic if you had brought back Zetterland.
Yeah,
and
I've said it all year. He would have been a perfect middle six, third line wing for us right now.
I'll tell you who I think is going to it's going to be tough in the play. And they're always tough, and they won a couple cups in a row too. I think Tampa is going to be tough in these playoffs. They bought Gordy back, which I mentioned wanting him in New Jersey at one point, even and they're going to love him there because he was there winning cups with them back in the day. So, and I think obviously Vasi in the playoffs, you just would think that this is what's going to happen. But
he's been on fire recently.
Yeah, I think Tampa, Florida. I liked Florida with this move that Florida made, dude. I'll be honest. I think that it's a great move. Bringing the Rat over there.
I think it's going to be, unless Tampa and Florida play each other before the Eastern. Well, they're going to, but that's probably going to be an absolute bloodbath. That's the other thing. Like,
and Matt will be back. I'm sure.
If we somehow get in the playoffs in the position that we're in, Carolina is pretty weakened right now too. Mm-hmm. Like 5 of their forwards are like 5'10" and under. They're not big. They're not strong. They're not necessarily the only thing that they really have going for them is their D-court. They didn't upgrade their goaltending, which is fucking crazy to me.
Right.
Like if we can somehow hang on, I can't believe I'm putting a positive spin on this, but if we somehow hang on to this third spot, we can fucking beat Carolina. We can.
No, I don't. I mean, I agree, and I was hate tweeting for a while yesterday. And that was one of the things that
I saw that because I'm logged into the Twitter too.
Yeah, I always get the messages.
and I looked at the notifications. I was like, we have 40 notifications. I was like, that's a little odd. And I was like, looking through. I was like, oh.
I was that little.
Chris is angry today.
I was, and I even said that Carolina got worse. You're holding on, like you have a decent enough cushion over the guys behind you or whatever. Like all you got to do is keep winning, and you did nothing. Did nothing to make this team better. Who's the other schlub that we fucking got? Who was it, guys?
Jonathan Gruden.
Jonathan Gruden.
Don't let him draft for you. That's
Are
all
you
I
kidding?
say.
Doesn't he work for Barstool? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And now, who is Jonathan Gruden?
He's a left wing center, right? I think he does. He's
not an NHL player, is he?
No, he's 24 years old. He's played 13 games this year, so he's 13 games this year, 1 goal, 0 assists. About ranks up with the rest of our the rest of our scoring. 1 goal, no assists.
No, the other dude.
It's Cody Glass,
Brian Dumoulin.
Oh, Sprong. So here's the other thing. Sprong's going to come in, score fucking 10 goals for us over the next 20 games, and save our goddamn season. And that's going to make me even more upset because I wanted him off of waivers 2 months ago. He's always been kind of a favorite of mine. He's all offense, no defense. It's hilarious.
That's the thing.
Wait till you watch him play. It's fucking funny. Cody Glass is Lazar 2.0. High draft pick that didn't pan out as a fourth liner now. He's soft, doesn't get to the interior. He's going to fucking frustrate the shit out of us. Chalowski, like this guy was playing in the AHL. Like we made like 4 AHL deals yesterday. Why? Kovacevic, we'll see.
Games, right?
We now have Kovacevic for 5 more years. So like I don't understand this move. Like what was
the contract on that? Tim.
Five by
5
4.
for 4.
Look, he's had a good season, but he's largely had a good season because he's been tied to the hip with Siegenthaler. Like, if we can have a shutdown pair and the Siegenthaler can stay healthy, this is, again, the second season in a row. Siegenthaler's had a pretty significant injury, too.
Yep. So the three guys have constantly, it's Siegs, Hamilton, and Hughes.
Yeah.
Every friggin' year, one of three, well, mostly all three of these fucking guys go out with significant injuries. Like, that's another thing. Like, fire your fucking health and the fitness coach or whoever the fuck it is, because there's something wrong with fucking the way that we get injured more than everybody else.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I know the Jack thing is just because he's fucking all go no stop right in the freaking
Yeah,
cord.
I mean, that's like, his is an awkward injury. Hamilton's was Hamilton's had the most unbelievable series of
Hamilton.
like random injuries. Like, when he broke his jaw, it's like just because a puck happened to hit him in the face.
Mhm.
Tore his pec, which I guess is a soft tissue issue, which could be like the training guys. And then the injury where his leg got pinned behind someone a couple games ago. I like, we got to send him to buyout town. We got to send Palat to buyout town. Eric Holla, watching him play last night, like, what is this? He has no step, no speed at all, no juice. Like honestly, insert me into the lineup. I'm better than I'm better.
Point.
I think I'm better than Eric Holla right now.
Why?
And I'm in my 40s and I'm fat.
But that's the thing. Like, and I've said this before, we really don't have anybody in Utica that can come in and do better than Eric Holla. Like, are you fucking serious? Then that's another reason why Tom Fitzgerald should be fucking fired, because you are doing absolutely nothing to develop the next tier of fucking Devils.
Brian Hallinan has like 40 goals in 80 games in the AHL. Laguerre, whatever his last name is, scored a beautiful 2-on-1 goal last night.
Why are we not?
Remember when he came up and we were like, we like this kid. He's got
I do.
And then he went back to the AHL, never to be heard from again. What are we doing? Like, why are we clinging to a guy who's probably going to be implicated in a gangbang, who's best friends with the fucking Captain Gangbang, who was probably involved in that second gangbang? Like why are we doing that? Like, why are we holding on to this guy? We should fucking punt his ass to the moon. Like, Lazar, I love you. Put a suit on him, put him behind the bench, and just to jazz up Luke. Like why are we clinging to these guys? Why are we I don't give a fuck about your little family and your little kumbaya. Like, I'm so tired of this shit. It's not working. You need some ruthlessness. And I will say another thing. I'm not sure if Keefe's the right guy. He says, I'm getting flashbacks of Lindy where he says all the right things in the press conference. We need this. They need to look inside. It's not happening. You're the coach. Like, you need to take some more responsibility. Like, Nemec was awful last night. Take his ass off the ice. He was -3 in about 5 minutes. I just, everything is going wrong right now, and I'm so fucking mad at this team.
It's so frustrating. And again, we're all Devils fans, but being a Devils fan is like being born into a family of suicide bombers, and you know what your 18th birthday is going to be like. It's like you just kind of know. I mean, it's.
I don't know what that's like now.
Now you do.
Now you do.
Now you do.
But
it's just so frustrating. Like, you just kind of like yesterday. I knew when I woke up yesterday morning, I wasn't too excited. I was like, it's going to be a very disappointing day.
I was like, he's going to.
You're fooling yourselves, man.
I was too. It was like something great's going to happen. 3:00 comes around. I'm like, yay, we're going to get the guy. I had that meeting yesterday at 2:30, and I was like, I'm going to come out of this. We're going to have like McCann and Tuck, and I come out of it. We have Dennis Chalowski.
33 games this year. Well, me and Chris should know what this is like. Look at the hats we're wearing. When we put these on every day, we should expect to be disappointed.
All three of us now, right?
I mean,
we got the Raiders, the Vikings, the Devils. Yeah.
You're in now for a fucking Yankees hat, but.
And again, I love the Devils, man. It's we all do. It's just so frustrating, and I see everyone's frustrated, man. I didn't see. Usually I remember when the rough thing was going on, you had like 25% saying don't fire, and you had the rest saying fire him. This time it was like 100% on the board of like, what the fuck did we do? Nothing. How could you?
Wait. Can I read you a funny tweet that I retweeted yesterday?
Did Chris tweet this?
No, he didn't. No. Chris is an angry elf yesterday. Dennis Chalowski is the name of some Polish DJ that is playing a set at Whistler Club in Garfield next month.
Okay, that's basically the equivalent of who we have, or is that seriously another guy named Dennis Chalowski? That's a
Dennis
fucking real
Chalowski.
DJ.
Oh, there really is a DJ named that, maybe.
No, it's just like that's what he just sounds like. It's
Yeah,
just
I got you.
he's an AHL guy, and like
Well, I'm gonna say this to all Devil fans and mostly to management, which will never hear this. If the Devils do anything with the remaining 18 games and in the playoff, it will be in spite of Tom Fitzgerald and this management of this team, because it's got to be. I think these guys are good enough to band together. And like you said, Sheldon Keefe saying, all right, guys, this is how we're going to play from now on. This is what I expect from each and every one of you. There are 18 games left. I'm going to insert guys in this lineup from Utica. I'm going to make every single fucking one of you guys work your asses off. If you don't do your job, you're not on the fucking team. And when we get into the playoffs, you'll be sitting up in the fucking booth. That's what and then this team can get together, galvanize, maybe go on a little bit. Like you said, even – lose. You can basically have 18 games left. You got to go 10-8. I don't feel confident in them doing that.
No. And that's just a squeak in. That's just a squeak in the playoffs.
Could you imagine being Danico up there and like having to make? It'd be like, how do you put a positive spin on this? You might as well get Euchre up there for Major League.
His head almost exploded last night with the positive spin he was trying to put on things.
Yeah, they have to. It's part of their.
He's like, oh man, can't do that, Nemec.
No, this is ridiculous now. And this is another thing. Like I texted you guys, in the second year of his career, Cale Makar won the Norris, the Conn Smythe, and the Stanley Cup. It's time for guys like Luke to take over a lot more responsibility on this defense, and I want to see him do it, and I hope he is capable of doing it. I don't know how apparently nobody did very well yesterday that we scored 6 goals on us, but I want to see him take that next step. I want to see him become a leader on that defense and take over a little bit more. I don't know if he does that. And that's another thing, like the leadership on this team. Like if I brought Brady Tkachuk into this team, I would take the C off Nico and put it on him because he's a better fucking captain. And you
mentioned Makar.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Makar's like, you mentioned him. I mean, he – like you can all the things he's won, but they say like there was a guy that was traded to that team, and they said the first day he was yelling at him on the ice. Before the first day he got there, because Makar is up your ass. Like I heard like that is like you said, that ranks up there with Matthew Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, Scott Stevens kind of guys.
Do we have
I'll even say Ovi, guys that just are on top of you and have that's the thing with the Devils back when we were watching them, all of us back in the 90s and stuff, because we did get to see the cups,
Yeah.
We had a guy like Scott Stevens who was, when you walked in that locker room, and if you like even gave a half-ass performance, you weren't even going to have to answer to, say, Lemaire or Lou. You had Scott Stevens waiting for you at your locker.
Danico once said that if we lost a game, then you knew that Stevens was going to be really, really pissed, and he was going to say what he had to say and get it off his chest. But if
that's Makar too,
and if we lost 2 in a row. Oh, forget it. Like, it was bad. And then if God forbid we ever lost 3 in a row, he's like, you wouldn't even want to be in that locker room. That's why we did everything we could to make sure we never lost 3 in a row, and that's just who that team was, the leadership of that team. I don't think they have it. I love Nico Hischier as a player. I'm not sure I love Nico Hischier as the captain yet. And I'm still
Nico's a good captain. To a man, they always I will defend Nico. He's a good captain.
I am a Nico guy too. I've said that.
To a man, they defend him and say, Nico's our leader. It's Nico's team. They do say that he's universally respected around the league. And again, we don't know what he does behind the scenes. Obviously,
you're right
on the ice, but
I'm not going to shit on Nico.
Tim, you froze where you look like you're staring at your.
I thought that he was. I was like, what is he looking up?
I was looking up Luke's numbers last night, but that apparently caused my computer to freeze.
It looks like
and you open any other browser, your whole thing freezes.
I gotta pause YouPorn.
All right.
That's getting real deep into the weeds on some Step Brother shit last night. Fuck.
Step Brother shit.
All right.
Tony knows what I'm talking about.
I used to work in the business. That's a story for another day.
I gotta go though, boys. I gotta go
Yeah,
get
all
ready
right,
for
man.
work today.
Time to
All
make
right,
the
this
donuts.
is a good venting session. Let's go Devils.
Yeah.
Get your fucking head.
Yeah,
out of your
man.
ass.
Let's try to we got to pull for the team, as they
We
say.
got a big ass game tomorrow.
Yeah.
And now we'll see the new guys inserted into the lineup tomorrow.
Yes.
I would. Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry.
No. I interrupted you. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the new guys will be inserted into the lineup tomorrow. We'll be able to see. I'd love to see, like you said, call up some dudes and start sitting some fucking guys, and put them in this lineup and let's see what they can do.
Well, yeah. I mean, the problem is Utica is now digging themselves out of their own hole that they dug themselves in the
They
beginning
were
of the
brutal
season,
at
and
first.
they might make the playoffs now.
Nobody cares about Utica making
I
the playoffs.
don't, except for Utica people do.
Yeah, but fuck them.
The Harris Blitzer might care about it and that's the problem. Is like they care about making money, and if they call up all their good players, then Utica is not going to get attendance. They're not going to get the gate revenue. They're not going to fucking be a profitable team. It's such bullshit. I think Tony's right about the ownership. Like, there's just something off there. And I've heard that the concessions are fucking awful at
I heard some people
the
had some
Rock
food
too.
poisoning
And
recently. And shit.
and like they're fucking uncooked chicken tenders and a bunch of vendors being closed and just I don't know.
Chicken sushi.
Oh God.
Some people. Well, listen. Tomorrow's a big game in the afternoon. Hopefully, I'm leaving work a little early tomorrow. It's my anniversary, so I'm going to try and watch it.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. So I'm going to try and watch it. We'll see how that goes, but we're definitely going to be back Monday or Tuesday, and we'll vent some more, and then we'll have Bobby in, and hopefully Dan will be back next week at least for like a show or so. So we'll hopefully see if we can get everybody on. Thanks guys for hanging out. Wow, 3 people actually woke up with us this morning. That's pretty cool.
Really? Some people actually get notifications.
Yeah, I got one. I just didn't go on because I could see you guys perfectly.
Yeah,
fine.
well, that would absolutely my computer would probably catch on fire if I actually went onto the YouTube right now.
All right, so we said this before we did the rounds, right? I think me, you, and Bobby, Tim were at like 5 scale, 1 out of 10. Faith in Fitzgerald to have fixed this team before the trade deadline. We were all at 5. We're going to revisit that right now. 0 to 10. 10 being I have the most faith in Tom Fitzgerald, and I would let him babysit my children and manage all my retirement funds. And 1 being I wouldn't fucking loan this guy a pencil, and he should not have this job. Tony, 1 through 10. Where's your faith in Tom Fitzgerald?
Fortunately, it's going to have to be a 1. I want to say 2 even, but I'm just going to say right now it's 1. I mean, like I said, I feel like I got shell shock from yesterday, and I'm not very excited right now.
Timmy?
1's the lowest I can go.
Well, no, you can go lower.
Yeah, -4.
You care to?
Honestly, I am going to over the next 2 months twist myself into rationalizing why, in kind of retrospectively, why he should keep his job, and I fucking hate myself for it because honestly, like, I hate it when people lose their jobs. It sucks. Like we're going through a pretty shitty time in our country right now where that's happening to a lot of people. I lost a pretty massive. I know it's a different thing. Look, I get it. These guys make millions. They should, they're there for our fucking entertainment. But it's not a fucking zoo. I hate it. I'm gonna do it. I know myself too well that I'm gonna somehow have some sort of spin zone that I'll be back with later. But right now, fuck that motherfucker. Get off my team. Get out of my building. I hope your key pass gets taken away. I hope you get sent in an Uber. Go to the airport. Get the fuck out of here.
Tim's so ashamed he can't even look at us.
No,
I'm looking. I know. Yeah, I'm just staring down
at his crotch.
Look like you're praying or sleeping.
Something's going on, or had a stroke.
I'm praying to the little furry guy downstairs.
Is that what you call him, the little furry guy?
Yeah.
I will give Tom Fitzgerald a 1 as well. No, this is terrible. He completely fucking ruined the season. And I was getting so mad at people when they were posting on X and stuff like, well, with your Jacks out, how do you move? How do you push forward? Like, he's your best player. Like, I was like, no, this is fucking not just a Jack. I know they're very Jack centric, but this isn't just about Jack Hughes. This team can make a run. And then
Austin Matthews has been hurt all year. Matthew Tkachuk is on LTIR. Like,
we
Good
are
players
a,
get hurt all the time.
no,
Fuck
we're
this.
yeah, and maybe you're right about Sheldon Keefe. I remained, I'm still out. The jury's still out with me on him. I said last year that they needed to kind of go in a different direction, like a Craig Berube kind of guy, somebody that'll hold them accountable and be a pin. Now I'm looking at like a guy like Torts, and I'm like, man, bring that fucking dude in. Like, we need somebody that's gonna just lay into this fucking team, and maybe Sheldon Keefe will get there. I like Sheldon Keefe though, and I think he's going to do the best he can with the players he has. But
His voice kind of bothers me. I wish they would give him like a voice changer maybe during the interviews. The voice kind of doesn't sound too intimidating when you're trying, you hear. I can't picture him yelling at the team in the locker
He's
room.
got a little bit
no,
of
I
Kermit
mean
the Frog in him.
we definitely talked about that. He does have that very high kind of pitch, like it really does stink not having Jack in. And then I go
Imagine
and
that
I become
yelling at
Joe
you in the
Pesci.
locker room.
And then all of a sudden I become
You know,
like,
well, the
"That kinda
youngest
sucks.
player
Are
on
you fucking looking at me? You fucking telling me that Jack's not going to be in this fucking lineup?" I'm sorry. All right. We're gonna get out of here.
Can I mention, Chris, though, that one of my teams did make a move?
Yes, you got a quarterback.
We got a quarterback. The biggest move of all, as me and Chris talked about, is Max Crosby, a Raider for 3 more years, 106. No, I guess he's guaranteed like 91. But as a Raider fan, man, it's if you're gonna lose, you got to have Max on your team. I love him, and it's nice to see someone stay loyal, dude. Because I have to be honest with you guys. There was part of me that was like, oh, is he going to bail on us?
Yeah.
And what did we give up for the quarterback now? We gave up the 3rd round that we got for Adams, who just got released. So
there you go.
I
still don't understand football trades. It's just fucking bananas to me that these guys like Bosa is just like, they're like, yeah, fuck it, we're going to cut him.
Well, that's the thing. The NFL, I mean, the players in the NFL have so much more power than any other sport. Well, maybe the NBA has just as much power. The players basically run the fucking league there. But
yeah. I mean, well, because the dynamics of the NBA are so different. They're like 12 guys on the team and 5 guys basically. You get one good player and suddenly you're a wildly different team. NFL, like one guy isn't gonna affect
unless
too
it's
much.
A quarterback. Yeah, you're right.
But good to see that signed helmet you got is still gonna keep some value.
My wife gave it to me. I said, "Oh fuck, you just jinxed me." I'm like, he's gone. I'm like, he's leaving. I love Max.
Guys,
all right, boys.
Drop us a line. Let us know what you thought about yesterday. We will suffer through the fucking Flyer game tomorrow, but I think that right now all 3 of us are firmly on the Tom Fitzgerald should not be the general manager of this team's train. He needs to go. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, 5-star review, positive comment, wherever you listen to the podcast. It really does help us. For Tim and Tony, I'm Chris. We're the Uncle Puckers. We'll see you when we see you.
Suck a dick, Valaket.
It's over, Johnny. It's over!